Hello Pisces, it's your turn for your reading for the month of May. I have these cards out here because I'm going to do something a little bit different, especially I said in the previous video, Cancers. The water signs I feel led to do something a little bit different, but I do still have cards as reference points to what I'm going to talk about. But I just want to share my heart mainly with all of you in reference to what I've personally gone through and something that personally that I want to share with you from the bottom of my heart. I'm not here to condemn anyone. I'm not here to judge anyone. This is a general reading, but as a whole, as a collective, I just want to express to you what I've personally gone through, and hopefully it can help and comfort you who are going through traumatic shifts in your life and traumatic things that you're still maybe carrying on, or maybe discouraged, or really in a dark place at the moment. I feel like a lot of you have personally gone there, pretty much the dark night of the soul. But I want to express something that has been really upsetting me and bothering me. For this purpose in mind, that I've experienced a few people in my life that have really hurt me, and I'm not sure if they watch my channel at all, but if it resonates with you in any way, it could possibly be, the message, what you needed to hear to move on, to clear from anything from the past that doesn't work or resonate with you. But I personally want to share my testimony, my heart. It may cause some here and there triggers, which I do. I'm not going to apologize, but I'm just going to speak from the bottom of my heart that I'm not trying to hurt you on what I say. I'm just expressing to you what I've gone through to see if it can, help you through your situations in life. But I don't always do this, but I feel like I need to address it again. I've had a lot of Pisces hurt me. For some of you don't know, I have Pisces as a rising sign. So I'm Cancer Sun, Cancer Sun, my moon sign is in Libra, and my rising sign is in Pisces. Pretty much, I feel everything that you guys go through to some extent. I'm not saying that, everyone goes through their different journey, which they do. But I'm going to be specific in some of the things that I have experienced and that have tremendously hurt me still today. But I want to use it as a way not to hurt you guys in any way, but just, again, express my heart of how much I've been hurt because of Pisces, and see if I can heal from revealing it and from putting it out there to the universe. And if any came across this video who have hurt me, that they would know that, I forgive them 100%, which is very hard, because I feel like at this point in my life, a lot of us are mirroring each other. I know that's hard. I know all of us are on different journeys and different levels of consciousness. But one thing I feel like a lot of you are missing out on is the realization that we all are one. We all project things in our reality. And I'm going to speak on some very hard truths that I've personally had experience, and that has not been easy. But again, I want to use this as a tool to help you guys, and that maybe one of you will get it. Not all, but maybe one of you will get it and really start clicking in your mind. And that is, a few months ago, I've experienced a lot of harsh realities, that I've had to look at things not from my pain, not from my victim mentality. We all go there. We all go in the dark deep crud muck of our mind that nobody wants to see, that nobody wants to understand what we're going through. But I'm telling you from a sincere heart, out of love for you guys, that you're not the only one. And I know that's painful to hear, and it can be kind of like a sarcastic, idiotic way of saying it, and maybe bullshit in some instance. But like I said, I have Pisces rising sign. So when I told you in the last previous videos that I see you guys, I meant it. I see a lot of you Pisces as myself. And that's a very hard concept to say when I've been hurt by many Pisces in my life. There's been many times where I created a barrier between people. And I know a lot of people have their own opinion when it comes to walls, setting up boundaries, which is great and all. But in my view, in my perspective of where I'm coming from, I am coming from a place of love. And I feel like if you're coming from a place of love, why are the boundaries that you want to set in your life, how is that going to help you? And that can really piss off a lot of you. I know it can. It has pissed me off before. But I came across a video weeks ago, and I'm going to tell you, it changed my life. If you don't know a lot of how social media is and, you know, politics, and I don't want to name names, but like, you know, the man in charge, he wants to push the agenda of walls, building walls. Like I was saying, the main man wants to build walls. And I came across a video that I wasn't expecting to get a message out of it. And the video was talking about setting, you know, healthy boundaries up when it comes to toxic people in our life. And there's a man, I don't even remember his whole name, but he changed my life in a way that I looked through his lens instead of my own lens. You know what I mean? To see his perception of reality instead of seeing what I've always known to be true, which is fine. And I've come to the place of being more open-minded because of it. But this man addressed in a comment that we're already building walls. You know, that's been an objective of the man in charge, to build walls, to build barriers between this nationality against, you know, America. But what is that doing? What is that solving by putting barriers? You know, it's something to honestly think about. And I'm not saying when people have crossed your line and messed with your mind and got you to this place that was depleting your energy and high and drive. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, realistically, when you think of walls, they're barriers between you and another person. And that's the same thing I feel like with boundaries. I'm not saying don't build boundaries between you and another person. But honestly, think to yourself with an open mind and a pure heart and good intentions. What are those walls doing to you and another person? First of all, I feel like what it's doing is it's blocking your heart from ever opening up again. And I've seen a very massive effect on these Pisces. And I admit, I'm a Pisces with rising sign, so I'm talking to myself in the choir. Where they've come into their own power. Like, you guys have really stepped up. I really respect you all. I really admire you. But one thing I feel like a lot of Pisces are missing at the moment is Yes, people have hurt you. People have betrayed your name. People have spit in your face. But something else to remember is those people who have done those things to you that were humane, cruel, and hatred, guess what? They've had that happen to them. Guess what? They have felt pain just like you have. And what do I mean by that they felt pain? Well, for example, a few weeks ago I addressed that I have been hurt by these people who unfriended me. And that was probably one of the hardest things I've had to go through thus far, besides chaoticness of things that I've discovered along the way in my own life that I'm ashamed of. We all make mistakes. Like I said, we all are mirroring each other. So what does that mean when we're mirroring each other? It means, honestly, like those of you who are religious or have a concept of God, we all were created in the image of God. But what a lot of people don't understand, if we're all created in the image of God, and I can talk like this because a lot of you are very spiritual people, so I get that. I'm just being open about that. Even if religious factors are a problem, I'm just speaking from truth. Okay, if we all are created in the image of God, if we all are, don't you think we're mirroring each other in some instance? Let that sink in for a moment, okay? If we're all mirroring each other, if we're all created in the image of God, then therefore we are one. We are all one flesh. There is no private thoughts. Therefore, we're all brothers and sisters. And yes, in this reality, it can be crappy. It can be horrible. Really horrible at times, I gotta admit. But one thing I can know for sure is in the other dimensions, the higher dimensions, those of you who know what I'm talking about, the fifth dimension where God is and angels and higher up there, none of the things we have problems with exist there, which we as humans create illusions in our mind. We create stories. We create problems that aren't really there. That when we're in the fifth dimension, it doesn't exist. None of that. So it doesn't matter race, gender, any of that. It doesn't matter. We're all one. There's no rules in love. And I think a lot of you have been struggling with the concept of what is love, which, believe me, I've struggled with it too. So what is love? How do you define love? What's restricting two people from coming together? Love, to me, this is just my opinion, love has no rules. Love has no bounds. Love doesn't even have restrictions. And I've heard someone recently say this, in quote, that I wish people would love the way I do. And that to me is in some way faulty, if you think about it. Because yeah, sure, I would love people to love the way that I do, but in our faulty mind, in our ego, when we're in our ego, we don't really love the right way. We don't love unconditionally. There's always something in the way preventing us from opening our heart just a little bit and offering a piece of our heart, not to get slammed on, but a piece of our heart so we can truly forgive people and know what it is to offer the miracle of forgiveness. And when I was talking about the whole boundaries and walls up, there's a misinformation that people don't get. Instead of, and if you follow me on Facebook, you'll get this because I have it on my profile. One of the things I go by nowadays is, let's stop building up walls and boundaries. Instead, let's build bridges of hope instead. And what do I mean by that? Is you create a space in your heart and you extend a bridge of hope, basically love. I know that's really hard because a lot of you been through horrifying experiences. And I can testify that because I've seen a lot of you've gone through problems that nobody really understands. I've seen a lot of you in relationships that I knew right then and there it wasn't going to work. And I don't mean that to be mean or cruel or trying to predict something. It's like I've noticed someone else said that about myself. They thought something was wrong with mine and my boyfriend's relationship, when honestly weeks before that, or I think about a month or before that, I said the same thing about their relationship. Anyways, I'm not trying to start an argument or a disagreement, a drama. I'm just stating the facts for what they are. But what I'm saying is we get to this place, Pisces, even I can vouch, where we've been hurt so many times that we forget to trust ourselves. We put boundaries and walls up for the purpose of not getting hurt and to protect our heart from getting hurt. So it's all up to you how you're going to, interpret this reading. It's not much of a reading. It's kind of like a discussion, expressing what's been going on. And maybe it can help some of you. Because these cards really reflect what's been going on, I feel like. The 9 of Swords. The 5 of Wands. The Magician in reverse. The 8 of Wands in reverse. The 4 of Wands. The Ace of Swords, which is no clarity. The 3 of Swords. The 10 of Swords. But another thing I want to mention, I feel like a lot of you guys, you say one thing, and I've been there. You say one thing, but yet there's something missing inside of each of you. You want to be, it seems to me, I'm not trying to be critical, it's just what I see. You seem to put on this appearance that you're okay, that I'm fine. I can read right through that. I mean, I see it. I really see through you. Maybe it's because I have a Pisces rising sign, but I feel like a lot of you block yourself. A lot of you don't open up, which is fine. You don't have to. It's up to you if you want to open up to not. I'm not forcing anyone to open up. Just giving you something to think about. We don't allow ourselves to be vulnerable because we don't want to be hurt. We don't want to have to experience this pain again or trauma, this conflict with other people. So we rather isolate ourselves from the world and the pain and just act like nothing's wrong when I know damn right that's BS. Because hey, I've been there too. I'm just being honest. So you of those who feel alone, feel isolated, feel abandoned, feel like you can't communicate just right, feel like you're hopeful, optimistic of you want this relationship with someone, but yeah, you're not unsure about it because you got heartbreak. You got unforgiveness, unresolved issues from past, because apparently a lot of you feel like, oh, it's just going to go the same way it's always gone. And you identify past traumas with the present. And I feel like, honestly, when you do that, you create more of that. And I'm just being honest as a friend. And I think it's deemed to believe that, is it really worth doing that? Playing those stories in your head that the next so-and-so is going to be like your ex. They're going to be a narcissist, or they're going to be selfish, or they're not going to see you or hear you or understand where you're coming from, and you're going to be elusive to the whole idea of what love is, because, hey, my ex did that to me, so apparently I'm going to put that on someone else and expect them to treat me like crap. No, I'm sorry, but you don't have to go that way. And I think a lot of you, and I've done it, I've been in a relationship, I was married at one point, where I carried that on to other relationships. And all that did was put me in denial to the fact that it's not my responsibility to put things on or labels on other people that they had no bearing on the situation. They weren't even there. All they were doing, they were harmlessly doing something, and bam, you snatch them because, oh, they dropped something that pisses you off, or they did a hideous thing that your ex did. They didn't straighten the towels the way you want them, and so bam, they're doing the same thing your ex did. What it is, Pisces, and I'm just going to be honest, and then I'll close with this. What it is sometimes people, we get into our next relationship, we've already had a relationship. What it is they're bringing up those wounds. And you know why they're bringing up those wounds? So you can heal. And believe me, that is so painful. I mean, I have done that so many times in my relationship, where I thought my boyfriend was doing what my ex did, when it turns out I was putting that label on him, and then I projected that out. And that's another thing, and I'll close with this after I read something, is if you view the past into the present, it's going to keep cycling over and over and over and over and over. I mean, the saying goes, if you always done what you always done, you always get what you always got. And I can't stress that enough. And I see you guys go through these relationships, and believe me, I've given a lot of you advice about relationships, so that's BS. When people, I've done it with my friends, where it's like I've given them advice, but yeah, they don't want to take it. So it's up to them if they're going to take it or not. So I've heard that recently from someone. But yeah, that's kind of BS, because it's like you guys get in these relationships, and girls get in these relationships where you keep labeling everybody as your ex, when they're just humans. They make mistakes. They're not trying to do these things as a way to hurt you. They're trying to heal you in some way. And I'm not saying people should heal people. I'm just saying they bring up these wounds to help you realize you still have a ways to go. You still have things you need to work on. Before I go, I was going to read something to you, if you permit it, after all that talking. But I wanted to express it to you because it's been really bugging me, and I feel like the best thing I can do. I know some of you don't really want me in your life, that's fine, but I feel like I should share my deepest heart, and I feel for you guys. And this is what I wrote a while back. I think I've read it before on my other videos, I'm not sure. It says, "Let love guide me with truth and understanding of a pure heart and mind. Do not devise a plan of hate or hurt to those around me, but rather lead me with compassion and integrity. Let love claim my scenes. Have so dear and undying love, let my motives be pure intention to seek only the good of all men. Let the power of all hell be put out and fire stop around me. That light, healing, divine guidance will grant me help on my path, so mote it be." Anyways, if I brought up things that you guys didn't want to hear, my intention was pure. It wasn't to harm anyone. It wasn't to hurt anyone. It was just to reiterate things that have been weighing on me, things that have been circling around my mind. Not to expose it, but to help you guys. Anyways, I love you all. Hope you have a great day and a great month of May, and that you guys will be careful not to hurt yourself and others, but be loving to yourself, accept yourself, try to understand the other person's views, and love people. Anyways, bye-bye.